next time you meet me in Gate City.
Oh, Cody Pope. I know Cody Pope.
Our friend is Cody, and we not having a good day.
Smack dab in the middle of all that. That was beautifully said, and I love that you said when you have a microphone in your hand.
And we were able to do it.
It's about just showing up.
What up, world? Welcome back to another edition of Cody Central. Thank you for tuning in. Shout out to everybody that's here with us already. Nice little split between YouTube and Facebook. Shout out to all my YouTube people. If you haven't already, please go over to YouTube, Hellhound Publishing. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're trying to hit the 500 subscriber benchmark. Appreciate everybody that's rocking with us over there. If you're watching on Facebook, do us a favor, share the video, share it to your feed. Let's try and get some more people to come and hang out with us tonight. We got a really cool one in store, and I'm excited for this one. So thank you for rocking with us. Let me jump into music of the week real quick. So music of the week this week is the new single Clutches from the band Die Young TX. Just came out January 8th, I believe it was. So back from a series of hiatuses and breaks, one of metallic hardcore's most notable acts, Die Young TX, returns, following up an EP from 2025 with a brand new single titled Clutches. This song has all of the blood pumping, heart racing, heavy riffing that you'd come to expect from a warlike anthem from one of Texas's finest heavy music acts. Clutches features guest vocalist Brooke Brown, who helps create a great contrast vocally with singer and band leader since the group's inception all the way back in 2002, Daniel Austin. Clutches brings an equally powerful message as it does the Sonics to listen to. I am really looking forward to what else is in their vault of soon-to-be released music. And speaking of music, I am trying to set up some shows for the spring. We got some stuff locked in already, and we are going to be setting up some more. So if you're interested in coming out to a show this year, if you want to know where they're going to be, if you want to get merch, if you want to get tickets, if you want to watch videos, anything like that, everything is right over at www.cody-pope.com. You can get everything Cody Pope right there, and we'll be right back.
Then I stopped too late. How could I be so selfish? Do this lost on instinct like inventory of dead ends. I miss home, I can't memories of my dead friends. It's my soul on the record, like removing the mask. Brain connected, feel electric, intermeshing spacecrafts. I was cooking and building the system. It took a minute to win it, but now we built to kill them. Then I opened up and I looked again, saw the sound like Ace the Base of my friends. Lost some gems, I'm bound to lose some more. But you got the prescription, you got me convincing. There's a lot you've been missing since I built this lot to do something. It's got me crawling.
Not perfect, not even close to alright. If you're with me, let me hear you say alright. I'm all my name, yo.
Big thank you to everybody that's been checking out the website as we did the big redesign this year and whatnot. So much love to everybody. Let me run through a couple events. It's not, it's still early in the year, so we don't have as many submissions yet, but we do have a couple, and they are friends of the podcast. So I want to take a moment to shout these out real quick. And as always, if you have an event that you want to plug on the show, shoot me an email at codycentralshow@gmail.com. Send me the info, send me the flyer, whatever you got, and I will plug as much as I can. So Tuesday, January 20th is Wrong Hill to Die, #1. It's a comedy show that's going to be going down at the Shaskeen in Manchester, New Hampshire. This actually just sold out the other day. but I want to hype it up anyways because it's going to become a recurring series. And so Wrong Hill to Die is a fast paced live comedy show where stand ups, improvisers, and loudmouths must passionately defend absurd or controversial hot takes for 2 minutes, no matter how insane they are. They can't back down, even when the crowd boos. The panel and the host are going to challenge them, roast them, and sometimes make things worse. This was put together by Alex LaChance from LaChance Encounters, which is a great podcast that you guys should check out. And it was also put together by Nick Sands, who has a podcast called Nick Sands Presents, and he also produces LaChance Encounters. These guys have been killing it, and so this is going to be a great show. I will definitely be there. And if you didn't get to go to this one, be on the lookout for when they announce tickets for number 2. I think this is going to grow into something really, really fun, and I'm super stoked for them. Friday, January 23rd, is The Interview, another comedy show. This is at the Laugh Attic in Manchester, New Hampshire. This is the next edition of Laugh Addict's hit show, The Interview, this Friday at the Laugh Attic is upstairs in the Strange Brew Tavern. So comedians are job candidates. They're going to perform a comedy set, and then they're going to be followed by a series of HR questions from the best hiring management around, and they get to answer honestly. It's a hilarious time with fun people, a back and forth panel, and a great audience. You can still get tickets for this. Bring your friends, bring your coworkers. This is an awesome show. Danny P is part of this. He's been on the podcast before, and he also hosts Laugh Attic every Thursday upstairs at Strange Brew. Speaking of special events, we're going to talk more about this tonight because this is done by both of our guests. But Saturday, January 24th, the Imposter Syndrome cast and crew screening at the Capitol Theater in Arlington, Mass. So, friend of the show, Tyler LaPlant, is part of the crew that brought together this surreal talk show where host Jenna Cipriano battles her inner demons, sparring with artists, storytellers, and even a talking plant. Equal parts hilarious, raw, and uncanny, this 5-episode ride turns self-doubt into spectacle. And then they have a Q&A with the cast and crew following the screening. This is going to be really dope. We're going to talk more about this tonight on the pod, but mark that on your calendar. Go get tickets now. That's going to be dope. And lastly, I got a couple shows ready to announce. Saturday, February 7th, I'm going to be doing the Vine Street fundraiser at Backstreet Bar and Grill in Hudson, New Hampshire. I'll be doing a featured set during this all-day marathon. It's going to be a fundraiser for the Vine Street Studios and Ash Street apartment fires that displaced dozens of people recently. This is going to be my first show of the year. And obviously, a lot of you guys that are from the area know that I used to run my record label out of the Vine Street Studios for probably like 12 years. So it was pretty crazy that turned out the way that it did. And I'm honored to be part of doing a fundraiser to help these people hopefully get back on their feet somehow. So if you're around that day, come out and support that. There's going to be a ton of bands and artists performing all day. It starts at sometime like in the afternoon. As soon as I find out more details of when I'm going to be on, I'll obviously post and share about that. But for now, if you're going to be in the area, it's in Hudson, New Hampshire, at Backstreet Bar and Grill. Come and support the Vine Street fundraiser. And lastly, Sunday, March 29th, I'll be at the Shaskeen Pub in Manchester on Sunday, March 29th for New Hampshire's longest running hip hop residency, Rap Night Manchester, hosted by DJ Myth, I9, and Sean Caliber. That's going down Sunday, March 29th, the back room at the Shaskeen Pub, Rap Night Manchester. Shout out to DJ Myth and the crew. If you have an event coming up that you want me to plug during this time period on the show, shoot me an email. Shoot me all the details, the flyer, whatever you got. CodyCentralShow@gmail.com. Okay, guys. Now that we went through all this stuff, let's get into it. Big shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to Jen. Shout out to Ryan. Shout out to Ben. Yeah, that's right. Ben ran a skate park in there for a long time. That place has some crazy history. So first things first, the chat is officially open for Q&A for as long as we're live tonight. So obviously we love when you guys fill up the chat, but since we have special guests tonight, as soon as we bring them in, any questions that you guys have for them as you get to know them, drop those questions in the chat. We're going to pick our favorite ones, throw them on screen, and get them answered for you. Before I bring out our guests, I do want to say huge thank you to everybody that's checked out the visual for my new song Moonlight. You can find that here on YouTube as well as on my social media pages. Moonlight is a song of mine from the album The Howling Man. This was shot by my new frequent co-host on the programs, Danny Dimes, during when we did the Hellhound for the Holidays 2025 toy drive this past December. This March is the 5-year anniversary of my album, The Howling Man. It's crazy how fast the time has gone. So we're definitely gonna have to celebrate somehow. And I'm really excited to bring him out here. So let's get this party started. Please welcome my co-host for this evening's episode, none other than Danny Dimes.
Let's go. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you,
What's going on? How you living?
Doing well, bro. Doing well. Doing very well. How you been, man?
Oh, I'm doing okay. Let's get our guests in here. Let's get this thing started. They've been with us for a little bit now, so we made sure all of our technical stuff was good. We're talking movies tonight. We're talking crazy stuff. We're talking all sorts of stuff. So, chat, I hope you guys are excited. Tonight's guests are two names to learn about in the New England film industry. First is a friend of the show and an industry grip and a writer-director who just shot his debut short film titled Joey's Big Reveal. Please welcome Tyler LaPlant.
What's going on, guys? Thanks so much for having me, Cody. I appreciate you, man.
Dude, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you. Appreciate you coming out and supporting the pod. I appreciate you helping me pull this together tonight as well. And so, speaking of pulling this together, also joining us tonight is the writer, director, and host of a surreal talk show in which she battles her inner demons and more across 5 episodes this week on a special theater screening. Please welcome, for the first time on the program, Jaina Cipriano. Everybody drop some applause in the comments.
Hey guys, excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Hell yeah. Appreciate you guys being here. This was cool that we could pull this together. So shout out to the chat. Hell yeah, chat is live right now. Appreciate you guys. Let's I don't know who wants to go first. It's up to you guys, but if you guys care to share a little bit about your creative background and how you got to the point of doing these big projects that you guys have unleashing to the world right now.
Well, I mean, Jaina and I met like virtually like 5 years ago, and we worked on one of our shorts, Trauma Bond, and without that short, I kind of wouldn't be where I am today, and that was sort of my my stepping stone into working on more shorts and meeting a lot of industry people. So, and aside from that, Jane and I have known each other for a while, and have worked on a lot of different projects, and Jane has been a friend and a confidant and a mentor in a lot of ways. So I was like, hey, I gotta bring Jane on to the Cody Pope Central.
I know, it's crazy it's been that long that Tyler and I have known each other, but I'm a trained photographer, really. Like, I went to the New England School of Photography. I've been taking pictures since I was like a baby, like an infant, basically. And it was in about 2019 when I was feeling like those pictures kind of wanted to move, and those stories wanted to like be somewhere I could be for a little bit longer than a photo, which is so quick. So I made my first short film in 2019. We wrapped like 4 days before the world shut down. I remember like being our last day on set, and my friend Lucas was like, kind of crazy. There's this like virus out there, and I was like, nah, it'll be fine. And then the world shut down, and then we made Trauma Bond like kind of during the pandemic, which was like super special project. I think everyone was like really hungry for community and creativity, and like we were super careful, but we all got to like hang out in this house together, and Tyler spent the night one night, and Lucas was there, and we were playing guitar, and it was like really,
I
I think, a
lived
really
on
special
set, dude.
time. Yeah.
Oh man.
So I love this. Obviously, as you can tell, I'm like a big nerd when it comes to movies and music and all of that. The first thing I want to ask right away, and this will lead into, I obviously like want to talk about your guys' projects, but like you just mentioned Trauma Bond, for example. So when you guys do like short films and like projects of this nature, where do they end up living for people to watch them? Or are they the kind of things that you guys will like set up screenings for, and that's when people have the opportunity to see them?
Yeah, for me, it's both. I always try and do like a big crew screening, and my shorts always live on YouTube because I want them to be accessible, and they're also on like a couple of smaller streaming platforms too.
That's dope. Okay, cool. I like that because it's like I've had other like filmmakers on the show before, and sometimes it's like you don't know where to watch their film afterwards, or it's like something that like was out at one point that's not out now, and it's like, oh man, like I just, it's like I always want to be able to find this stuff. So that's cool that it's like you can kind of cross that realm of like doing the theater screenings and like trying to get it in that universe, but also just like making it accessible on YouTube and like having it in that kind of like archive style. I think that's rad.
No, I think it's super important. I know, some people are definitely like, like, oh, once you put something on YouTube, like it's dead or, whatever. And I mean, I don't know, like, we spend a lot of money on these projects. And, for me, especially like I made a comedy, like a short, like 6-minute comedy. So like once I do the festivals for like a year and a half, maybe 2 years, like I definitely see a home for Joey's big reveal on YouTube because like knock on wood, but I want as many people to be able to see my work as possible. And the other thing too is like especially the short films, like aside from like a few streaming services, like streaming's not really a reality for shorts. So I think throwing it on YouTube is typically like your best bet.
It's also getting it out there and being able to get access to people like myself. Like I didn't know about these, these shorts or these movies are that these were even accessible. So for me to be able to know that they're accessible, be able to get out there, to be able to see them, to be able to enjoy them. And as your passion in your career grows, it'll also be great to see like where you began and where you led to be able to see like, wow, this is how it all got started. And that's always like, sometimes like the greatest stuff is that beginning stuff where that drive, that motivation, that passion, like you can see it in the art. And then as the progression goes through, you can see it, grow with, your career and with your movies. And it's great to know that they're accessible now, that I can actually like right after we're done doing this, that I can go look for it. And that's nice to know. So it's good to have them accessible. So knowing that they're on YouTube is really great.
So going in sort of like we got a chat question. Here we go. This is from Matthew Schwartzman. He said, for Tyler, as your first major project, how did Trauma Bond being shot during COVID affect your perception of the industry? That's a great question. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. Also, hi. So honestly, man, like I went into Trauma Bond, like pretty much like fresh out of high school, and I really didn't. I knew what some of the equipment was. I was familiar with like this is a script, like this is who a director is, but I didn't know shit. I didn't know I didn't know a damn thing about the industry. And, I went in as the assistant director, and like it's kind of hilarious, like, as I've seen like what actual real assistant directors do, and I'm like, man, I was just a fun, cute little like set mascot, essentially. Like, just, yeah, I'll help out. So it honestly, like, in a lot of ways, like, it did, I started to see the flow of a film set. But it was also like, because of COVID, like nothing was normal. So, like masks and testing and, like, everything like that. So like it was, it in a way, like, it didn't prepare me for like reality, because we were in such like a crisis mode. But overall, made it made working on trombone made me hungry for more movies, more opportunity to be on set.
I love that. I'm excited for people to check that out. What's the name of what's the name of the YouTube channel that people can watch Trauma Bond on, since we've been talking about it?
Yeah, Trauma Bond's on my YouTube channel, which is just my name, Jaina Cipriano.
All right, so make sure you guys go and hit that subscribe button. Make sure you guys go watch that. Set up a big theater session in your house, cook up some popcorn, get it going. I want to, just for chronological sake, I want to talk to you about the imposter syndrome. I will say, in full fairness, Tyler put me on game before it was coming out, so I watched the first episode and subscribed to it and whatnot. But I'm hoping to see it in uh, the capacity that you guys have it prepared for this weekend. I think
That's
that
all
is
Jaina.
so. I think that's so cool. But I want to ask you, and maybe this is, I don't know who is like better fit to answer this, but how did this idea come to life, and how did you figure out that it should be like a 5 episode kind of breakdown as well?
Mm. This was my friend Wednesday was working at Lowell Public Media a couple of years ago and came to me and was like, I'd really love for you to do a public access show. And I was like, wow, that's a really cool request. I was like, let me think about it. And when I went home to think about it, the biggest feeling, because they were kind of like, you can do whatever you want. Like the biggest feeling that I had was like, oh, I'm not ready for this. Like I don't feel like I can do something like this. And then I thought, oh well, what if that's the show? And wanted to think. I was thinking like, and when I thought that, I was like, it's so relatable. Like I think so many of us have that feeling, like I can't do this or I shouldn't be doing this. So I thought that would be like a really cool way for like something for us to base the show on. And then for 5 episodes, we just were thinking about how we could bulk film things. Like I was thinking if we break it down like a show like Sesame Street is broken down into these like little segments. Can we like bulk film all of those segments in one day? Just to like kind of lighten our load. And we kind of did that sometimes.
Yeah.
Right, Tyler?
Yeah. Oh man, it was fun because I just came on to help. Like initially, like I wasn't, I was an afterthought. But no, I came on to help out. Just like play around with lights, and then coincidentally, the camera you guys were shooting on, the Canon 90D. Got a rep Canon. It's the same camera that I had, and I had like the same exact lenses that Wednesday had. So I was like, hey, want me to just like, be your director of photography? Because originally, weren't you and Wednesday just going to shoot it yourselves, pretty much?
Yeah, we were doing it like really public media style. But the show was a little bit more expansive than that. And so when you were like, can I help? We were like, absolutely. Please.
Yeah.
How do you, so now that you've kind of like finished it, is there like a sense of catharsis to have done this? Because obviously I know that it's like creative and artistic, but it's also very like self-reflective clearly, and it's very like personal. And so now that you have this to like look back on, is there like a sense of like, oh man, I really like tackled some shit?
I think so. Yeah, it was my first time like really acting too, and playing a version of myself that was dealing with like real issues that I was having in my real life, and like a fictionalized version of myself in like a fictional world was like really trippy. Um, and I had like a little bit of like a, not a breakdown, but I had a like it my anxiety spiked for a little while. And so it was like this interesting ride, like going up this kind of like anxiety mountain and like plateauing and then coming back down. So I feel like I definitely felt that when we wrapped. Like I think I felt it in two ways. Like when we wrapped, I was like, whoa, that was like kind of like that's a crazy thing. I've never done anything like this before. Um, and then I feel like you kind of enter this lull where you're like, oh, we did it, but you haven't really done it, and you have to like re-enter the project in the post way. So I feel like I'm ready to feel that feeling again on Saturday. I don't know about you, Tyler.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, for me, it's tough because, like, obviously, I don't want to like, I'm not. How do I say this without sounding like I'm talking shit about our show? But like, I feel like I have gotten a lot better with camera and lighting skills. So rewatching this thing that because we did this what like 3 years ago now, like
Almost, I think. Yeah. Like I think I think I started writing it at least 3 years ago.
yeah, so like, to see like where my work was at like 3 years ago versus like, the type of stuff that I'm able to do now. I mean, it's jarring. But there's something I think that like, me my lack of skill, it plays into the show, I think, a little bit because like, I remember talking to Jaina about this and being like, okay, so you want it to look like Sesame Street. I'm like, that's very simple, kind of like very simple lighting, very simple shooting, and we kind of stuck to that. And like I don't know, I got into a routine, I think. I remember like the storytelling segments with Matthew. Like that got like really cozy, and it always felt really cozy. And the imposter like puppet stuff always felt really, really personal, and like, to like cut close with each other. So like it in a way, it's like kind of like I am scared to invite my friends and be like, hey, come see this thing that I did, when I was still getting good. And we're always still getting good, but I am very excited to have this out in the world because I think I don't know, we need more wholesome stuff. We need more stuff created by people who care, and who just, and I think Trauma Bond kept us all kind of sane while we were making it. I was out of work, so I had so much time, and that was like a tough time in my life, working on that show, and that kind of kept me honest and kept me going a lot. So I'm excited to see, and I'm excited for the premiere.
I'm excited to, I think it's awesome. Dude, Matthew Schwartzman literally read my mind. This was going to be my next question, but he beat me to the punch. Question is for you, Jaina. Is there a season 2 in the works? What sort of lessons would you take in a season 2? And how would you handle a fictitious version of yourself differently now?
Great question, Matthew. I would say that there's a season two in the talks. I think we're chatting about some ideas. I feel like Tyler said, like we've all learned so much, and we've been with this project for 3 years, and it almost feels like it's so crazy with film because I feel you put so much time and effort into something, and it's only at the end of it when you're like, oh, I think I know how I would have actually done that in like a good way now. It's like kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that we would know how to like manage our energy better, manage like our time better, and like figure out like and write something that's more fun for all of us. I think So I think that'd be super cool. And then as far as like a fictitious version of myself, man, I haven't thought about this in a long time. So it is probably time to think about this again if we're talking about a season 2. I know that I would give myself like a name that separates me from the character, even if like the character's name was still Jaina in the show. Like I would refer to her as something else in my head just to kind of like keep that separation. And I also like towards the very end of season 1, once I realized this was like kind of happening to me, like having this like anxiety about this character, I would do like an opening and closing ritual, which was like super helpful. Which I only did for I think the last 2 segments, but like kind of being like, okay, like we're going into the like we're intentionally going into this character now, and then closing it out and being like, okay, this character is done. Like Jaina enters her real life again. So I probably do things like that. But I think I would also I'd be more prepared for it now. I think I would just be more aware of it, and also like maybe wouldn't use like every terrible thing that's ever happened to me in the script. Like maybe I'd use some good things too.
Yeah, I think, it's easier said than done, but I think that would be cool. I hope you do a season 2. And I hope that everybody in the chat gets tickets to go see season 1 in theaters this Saturday at the Capitol Theater in Arlington, Mass.
Which is such a beautiful place, by the way. And like I'm gonna self plug Arlington International Film Festival, which Jane also owns and operates. That is the location, that is ground zero for that place as well.
It is.
And
We love Arlington.
Arlington's awesome. Matt's gonna be there.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
Meet him. Matt's an amazing chef, and he also was a very generous donor to the Joey's Big Reveal Indiegogo campaign, which I think we have like 19 days left.
Ooh, okay.
So go onto my socials, look up Joey's Big Reveal on Instagram. You can find the links there. But yeah, Matt's amazing. God, I don't know.
We love him.
Yeah, let's add him on real quick. I know he's watching.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I appreciate Matt. He had some great questions so far. Speaking of, all right, I want to get into Joey's big reveal, but I got one more question in regards to the imposter syndrome. What do you feel like is the most important takeaway from people seeing this in the theater environment versus the like traditional YouTube environment? What do you think is the most important thing that people can really like attach to this?
Kind of piggybacking off of what Tyler was saying earlier about like the imperfections in it. When we showed one of these episodes at the fundraiser for my next short film, which is called Actualization, which we're shooting in the spring this year, which I'm super excited about. But we did a fundraiser this summer where I threw a big party and called it Slime Time, and they slimed me at the end when we reached our goal. It was super fun. And one of the things we did was we did a screening of, I think, the second episode of Imposter Syndrome. And I had some people come out of the screening and come and talk to me, and they were like, I loved that so much because it wasn't perfect. Like they were like, we could see the mics on your shirts, and like they were like, it just felt really powerful to feel like I could make some. They said that, like, it felt powerful to them that they could make something and it didn't have to be perfect, which I thought was really cool. And I was like, yeah, that kind of is the message of the whole thing, which is like, just go and do it. It doesn't really matter. Like making is the best thing that you can do, even if it's not perfect in the end. So I think that something about that big screen, I think it can kind of amplify maybe those imperfections a little bit, but I think that we like leaned into them in Imposter Syndrome and allowed it to shape us and allowed it to like, it was like, it allowed us some freedom. And I hope that other people can see that too and feel like, yeah, I can also go make something and not get stuck in that moment of like indecision of like, well, I can't move forward unless it's perfect, which like even I still get stuck in sometimes. And I think it's like the worst place to be. I was talking about that in the class I was taking earlier where I'm like trying to make a photo book. And I was like, I'm often like, I can't even get started on making the book. Cause like, what if I put the wrong picture after, like, what if I put 2 pictures together and it's wrong? And they were like, you haven't even done anything. Like you're stuck. And I was like, oh yeah, you're right. So that's what I'm hoping for.
I like that. That's really cool. I think that's like super inspiring that like, it's the touches of imperfection are the things that kind of give it the soul that makes it like the perfect piece for like a first chapter of this or a first season, if you will.
I also think that you know, I'm happy to have it on the big screen because I think a lot of things that are like internet shows or like I'd like to think there's a few genuine fans of Imposter Syndrome on who subscribed and who always watch the show when it comes out. And I think YouTube is kind of a lot of stuff online streaming. YouTube is like you're prone to those like parasocial relationships, but I think being able to like I'm going to leave my house or like leave my bed or leave my desk and like go watch this with like other people who are into this is huge. That's why cinema brings us together. And I also think the other thing too is like we're having a Q&A. We're having like time FaceTime with the people. So like I think having being able to have that experience is very very important, especially for something like Imposter Syndrome that like will be living on the internet. And I think it's kind of designed to live on the internet, like in the way it feels, at least in my humble opinion. And yeah, I think having it be in the big screen will just connect more people, and everybody likes that.
I love that. I want to get into Joey's big reveal, but before I do that, Danny, do you have any questions that I didn't cover in my onslaught of diving into the soul of the imposter syndrome?
I was just going to touch on something that Tyler said. I have to agree that like out of the like getting out of the house, like actual physical media, like going somewhere to do something, like on the internet and being on the internet, you have so much that can like cloud around it, so much that you have to go through to find something specific that you're looking for. But being able to leave and actually go physically go see it like in a theater screening would actually be incredible because it's going to be part of an experience too that people are going to remember, like going somewhere and actually enjoying it because they can actually like weeks later like drive by the venue and then be like, oh, you remember, or years later and be talking about it, where something on the internet, you saw something, you might pass by, but the actual getting out and actually going to see it gives that like moment in that created moment that I think will be really great.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We were talking about this a little bit on excuse me, the last podcast that we did last week when we watched Matinee. But yeah, the idea of like I remember seeing like Marty Supreme at Coolidge Corner in 70 millimeter like a week or two ago, and I remember being like yeah man, like I'm jazzed, like all these people are excited to be seeing this movie right now, like that's like it's just like like oh we're all watching this, we're all we're all connected, we all get this. Yeah, you know, great feeling. Great feeling. It's why we do it.
All right. Only because you mentioned it, I want to take a second to plug. So when Tyler said the last podcast we watched Matinee, Tyler was actually with us for the inaugural screening of the return of Hellhound Film Club. If you have been following the Hellhound Network for a long time, you may remember that we had Hellhound Film Club as an audio podcast and then a YouTube breakdown series. Now it's returning for its third installment. And what we do is we do live theater screenings on Wednesdays at the Spot in downtown Nashua. So we screen the movie live with an audience, and then we record the podcast right after. And so we've started recording them, and so we're going to get them edited and released around the release dates of the movies. So late January, early February, you should start seeing these pop up on YouTube. But if you want to know what we're doing, or if you want to get involved and come to a live event and be a part of the podcast as well, here is a little bit about Hellhound Film Club before we return and talk about Joey's big reveal.
Criterion level conversation laced in these lyrics.
That's sick. You have your own commercial breaks. What the fuck?
Thank you, man. Yo, I've been trying, man.
Yo,
This
and
is
that
episode
segue too was
47, so
great.
I've had to figure out all the little ins and outs, like, because I was really
waiting
lucky.
to fire that off.
Oh, of course, dude.
I'm sold. I'm there.
I'm
dude,
there.
This
Oh,
shit,
wait a minute. Yeah,
this
yeah.
shit don't pay for itself. You know what I'm saying?
Did you reveal what movie you're doing yet for tomorrow, or is that still privileged?
That has been official.
Yeah, tomorrow is Apes.
You know it, dude. You know it. Yo, what you know about Dr. Zayas?
All right. Since we did joke about a commercial break, I'll play one more commercial before we get going. If you want to sponsor the podcast, if you want to support the show, if you have your own thing that you want to support, if you have a podcast, a movie screening, a clothing brand, a concert, whatever it is, as you've seen on the program, I will make you a video ad and we will run it during the show. And so if you want to get involved with the show and help sponsor and help keep this thing going, because this friggin' platform costs me a lot of money, here's how you can get involved.
Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is go to hellhoundpublishing.com. Go to the menu, go find Cody Central, our show. Then you're going to scroll down and you're going to see a bunch of different donation options. Each one will have some really cool stuff that you get. Go to checkout, tell me what you want me to promote, cash out, simple as that.
Simple as that, players. So we just got done talking about the Imposter Syndrome 5-part series that you can watch this Saturday screening at the Capitol Theater in Arlington, Mass. And part of that crew, the man who brought this episode together tonight, is Tyler LaPlant, who also has his debut short film coming in the form of Joey's Big Reveal. So can you take a minute and talk to us about Joey's Big Reveal? What's it about? Who's in it? What should we know? What's the scoop?
Absolutely.
What's the lowdown?
Absolutely. Actually, you know what? I need a physical object for this demonstration. Give me 1 second.
Sheesh, it's serious.
Okay.
He said,
So,
I need a physical object.
So, Joey's Big Reveal is an absurdist comedy piece, or skit, short, sketch, something like that. It's about this mafioso named Joey who has very sensitive personal information about himself, accidentally revealed to his buddies while they're all hanging out, and the night sort of spirals out of control from there. It's very much in the vein of, projects like I Think You Should Leave, really anything Tim Robinson has done, guys like Connor O'Malley. It's about vulnerability. It's about, what it means to hurt your friend's feelings and trying to reconcile from that. And honestly, I want to be careful with the details that I release, because I got some heavy hitting stuff in this script that I like to keep for first time viewers.
That's fair. I respect it.
But we had an incredible. I need to shout out my crew. Matthew J. Hernan. He was my producer / co-key grip. He lent his entire house to us for 14 hours for the day. And on top of that, handling a lot of logistics, handling some casting issues. We had we had this one role that was kind of cursed that, like, whatever reason, I would cast somebody and then like a week later they drop out. So it just got to a point where, like, you know, I was like, all right, man, it's up to you. We had in the lighting team, Mel Nestrick as our gaffer. If you guys seen a little indie movie called Sorry Baby that popped out, I got the gaffer as Sorry Baby. Dan Ireland, another close friend of mine, he was the other co-key grip. Usually it's key grip, exploit grip, but you know, who cares? Behind the lens, we had Kat Holmes as DP. She has been a longtime friend of mine, and like the best DPs, she started in the lighting department. You know, we had in the sound department, my buddy Zachary McCallion, straight out of Manchester. He's an amazing guy. Let's see, art department, we had Mia Ray as our production designer. She's fantastic. John Little, camera operator. Man, so many. I'm sorry, I'm just plugging so many of my homies right now. But yeah, without them, I would not have my project. So thank you so much. And I start editing in like this week. The editor who I worked with him on my music video for Leonard Sweet, Contact a few years ago. Noah Shader. I always fuck up his name. I'm sorry, buddy. I love you. But he cut together all 5 episodes of Imposter Syndrome.
Yes, he did.
He is a truly amazing editor. So if any of you guys ever need anything edited, talk to him. And yeah, man, Joey's big reveal is going to be hopefully a lot of fun. And that leads me, to my cast, my physical object. This is the Blu-ray to baseball movie of the century, Ephes. One of the main cast members in that, David Torres Jr. I've known this guy since I was a senior in high school and shooting my first like short film after I graduated, which is like still on YouTube somewhere, called Retribution. And I've just seen this guy's career just grow and grow, and he is so incredibly talented. You know, he plays a lot of mafiosos, he plays a lot of cops, and I wanted to give him opportunity to be a bit more sensitive in his approach, which is, you know, why I reached out to him. He did such a great job in Ephes. I also got the fabulous Peter Mankara, another OB.
Pleasure, Pete.
Yeah. Oh, hey, you know about him?
Of course I do.
Dude, hey man, I don't know, but
I'm a rapper from Nashua. It would be a sin if I didn't.
Wait, he's in the music game?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No, dude, he has not brought this up to me.
Oh my goodness, dude. He's Pleasure Pete. He was rapping before I was.
Oh shit. All right. I'm calling him after this.
Dude, literally just go on YouTube and search Pleasure Pete. He has like mad music videos and shit.
That is crazy, dude.
Yeah.
That is nuts.
That's crazy that you didn't know that, honestly.
No,
that's how I've known him.
So this is why I don't know it. It's because he's an amazing actor. This guy is he's fabulous in Ephes. He did a great job. He plays Tony in Joey's big reveal. You know, brings a lot of life. My good friend and longtime Genie co-worker Ashton O'Brien plays Alfredo in Joey's big reveal, and he's fantastic. He's a writer director like me, but he's trying to dip his toes into acting as well. He's fantastic. Cast him. And then last but not least, we have Pat Shea in the role of Chris or Christopher. Chris was sort of like our cursed role, so I didn't get to like really know Pat until like pretty much the day we started filming. Like, you know, we had a few phone calls like, you know, a few days before, but I mean, he came in and he fucking killed it. You know, he to me, he was the wild card because I didn't know enough about him. Like, he has a huge Instagram following, like 150,000, something like that. I'm like, all right. So I'm like, this guy, you know, people like this guy. I'm like, I can work with that. And, you know, all 4 of my main cast members, I mean, you know, they stuck to the script, but we definitely played around with stuff. And we probably did like 10 or 12 rehearsals, you know, before we started filming, just just to like find like, you know, oh hey, I like that line, we're gonna add that in. You know, so it was really, really great working with such an amazing, super professional cast and crew. It like, I'm not just saying this to promote the movie, but like it could not have gone better. Like there's so many ways that short films can fail, and this, man, I mean, I could not have done it. Oh, and my assistant director Justine Leslie Smith, holy shit, and associate producer as well. She, like, dude, she was the wind beneath my wings. Like I could not have done it without her and without my crew and my cast. They were phenomenal. Sorry, I've probably been ranting for like 10 minutes now about them.
Oh, that's cool. I love that.
Well, it
What
sounds
is
like
like
they've earned their spots to be ranted about.
what does it take logistically to assemble a crew of that magnitude for the amount of time that you need to assemble them for?
Dude, so honestly, like, pretty much the way it works is like I hired out my department heads, and then I was like, okay, you know, bring people on. So I brought on Kat. Kat brought on, you know, her boyfriend and also writer director, who just came out with the project, Jimmy Martin. You know, then they brought on John Little. Then they brought on their second AC, and so like I'm like, okay, camera department set. There were a lot of like sort of, you know, like my other producer Ted Omo brought on Claudia, who took care of our hair and makeup. You know, and so it kind of, it's a lot of fucking phone calls is really what it comes down to, is a lot of phone calls, a lot of being like, hey, are you free this day, you know, around this time, like this is the project. So, you know, I will say I am very lucky because I do have a lot of friends in a lot of different departments. So like it is, you know, I had like a good Rolodex of people to go through. But no, it's a lot. You know, it took like me and like three other people to like fully staff and cast everything. You know, so it's a lot. It's not easy.
What was like the inspiration for the story? Because obviously that's a very like uh it's a very animated story, if you will. And
Yeah.
so what was it
Honestly,
that kind of sparked that within you?
so this happened like years and years ago, like 3 or 4 years ago. I was hanging out in my buddy's studio at his like at his dad's place. And we were all hanging out, and I just started like my friend and I just started riffing um about, like, you know, all right, I'm gonna give away one detail, I guess, about like this mobster named Joey who didn't have any balls, and like physically didn't have any balls. So, and it just sort of like, it just turned into this almost like Greek tragedy-esque like joke. And like I was like I was at a point where I was like there, everybody else had already moved on, but I just kept like adding to it and adding to it. And then like a year later, like it just stuck in my head, so I wrote it down. And then I did like a couple of drafts of it, and then I quit drinking, and I thought I was going to do like this super serious short about alcoholism for like my first for my first project. And I was pitching it to my DP Kat, and then I was like, yeah, but I'm stuck between this comedy I want to do. She's like, oh well, what's the comedy? And I told her about it, and she's like, yeah, why don't we do that one? And I'm like, oh, okay. I talked to a lot of people about it. I'm like, yeah, maybe making like a fun, like sort of crazy comedy is like a good way to start. So yeah, that was the main inspiration, is really just like, you know, being stoned and riffing with my buddies, and then like being the one guy who took the joke way farther than it ever needed to go.
I love that. So you mentioned, and obviously because I know you had seen it already anyways, but you have an Indiegogo going for the film right now, I believe.
I do, yeah. We're trying to recoup some production costs, and you know, get some money towards like post production. You know, I've had a lot of people who've been very generous, which, you know, from the bottom of my heart, everybody who's supported me so far, thank you so much. But seriously, like, you know, right now I'm like, if you have like $5, send it my way. You know, it's a small, it's
Donate to the
literally
boy.
$1. Like I don't care. Like it's more so like, you know, I want people to, you know, I want people to see the project and be like, yeah, you know what, I gave that kid $5 to make his wacky movie. And you know, like, so yeah, I mean, any small donation. I'm a working class guy. I'm not holding like bougie dinners, you know, inviting the 1%. You know, this was a working class movie made by working class people. And, you know, if you have $5 to help us out, amazing. If not, watch it when it comes out.
Hell yeah. I love that. I'm so excited for that.
I hate asking people for money on the
No,
internet. It's the
I know,
worst.
I feel you, dude. Always with the, can you buy a ticket? Can you pre-order this? Can you do, you know, it's like, God, I'm such a beggar.
It does feel like that.
Movie.
Yeah, like it's just like, hey, internet, I need something from you today. Can you spare a like, please? Can you
Just a
spare a
share,
subscribe?
please.
Could I have one more subscribe, please?
Well, that doesn't cost anyone anything.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm saying, I try to tell people that, but hitting that 500 benchmark has been that's been our journey for quite some time now. Man, this has been awesome. Danny, do you have any questions for either of our guests that I did not get it to hit?
No, man. Actually, really great job tonight.
Jaina, plug actualization.
Yeah, plug all the things that you guys want to plug. Tell all the people where to follow you guys.
Sure.
Hit them with all the good stuff.
Yeah, we're filming my next short film, Actualization. It's like a surrealist fable about facing the fear of vomiting. I think the really exciting part of this film, there's two things that really excite me. The first is that there is no narrative media. There's no narrative films or TV shows or really characters that struggle with the fear of vomiting. I've had it my whole life, and so I think for a very long time I thought I was like a crazy person. And I think a little bit of representation in media would have been super helpful for me and for like the people who were raising me and the adults around me. So I'm excited to be like kind of creating something for that community. And then the other really cool thing is we are building like 80% of the sets in this film. In my studio, in a basement, any space that we can get our hands on for more than a couple of weeks. We have all of our walls up pretty much right now, and the sets are being developed. So I'm really super dedicated to like doing it in camera as much as I possibly can and like getting my hands in there. And I think that the story that this movie tells is really going to benefit from this like heavy-handed, hand-built world. So we're filming in the springtime. I'm super excited. We also are still raising money, so we have a fiscal sponsorship through Stowe Story Labs. So any money that you donate is tax deductible. You can find it on stowstorylabs.com. You can find it on my Instagram, Jaina Studio. You can find it on my website, jainaphoto.com. You can find it anywhere that I exist, basically, or you can just like find me and give me $10. That counts too. Yeah. I'm super excited about that. And I do run the Arlington International Film Festival too. We have a super exciting year planned with a secret rebrand that's coming. And so that's going to happen. And then we will have our festival, as always, in the fall at the Capitol Theater in Arlington. And it's going to be super duper fun. Last year, we partnered with Witch Hunt Theater, which is a really incredible immersive theater group that did like a hybrid screening immersive theater horror show for us, which was like crazy and fun. Like we had the general manager come in and be like, "Is everyone okay?" Tyler loved it. They have a show. They have just like a normal show, like their regular show coming up in February. You should check them out because I just love them. But they'll be back to do something even bigger this year, which I'm super excited about. I love the idea of like turning a theater into like a multi-dimensional, multimedia art performance space. So I think that kind of sums up if you're thinking like, oh, what's the mystery rebrand? Like that kind of sums it up, I think.
I'm here for it. I love it. So make sure you guys go support the new movie coming soon. Make sure you guys go donate all your shillings to helping get that created. And go get your ticket for this weekend. Go see the Imposter Syndrome live at the Capitol Theater in Arlington, Massachusetts. Get your tickets now on the Capitol Theater's website. Tyler, plug it in. Anything that you want to plug, drop those drops.
Oh yeah. No, sorry. I thought you meant like physically. I'm like, I'm not holding anything, man.
You can physically,
So yeah,
whatever makes you
Joey's Big
happy.
Reveal. That's Joey's Big Reveal is my number one plug right now. If you look it up on Instagram, it'll be the first thing that pops up. Our lovely poster, designed by Silas, amazing artist as well. You can find his work through my page. But yeah, we have a Facebook page for everybody on Facebook. Same thing, just look up Joey's Big Reveal. You know, Indiegogo is still running for the next like 19 days, 18 days or so. And really, you know, just stay tuned. I have a boatload of BTS I'm going to be posting, you know, crew highlights on everybody because I love everybody so much and they're so talented and amazing. And, you know, really like I'm expecting hopefully April or May to have a completed project to show people. So, you know, just stay tuned for, you know, screenings, postings, if it gets into festivals. And yeah, because I'll definitely be doing a big screening event because I have a little secret Super 8 project in the works with Ashton O'Brien. So you know, we'll have a fun screening night, and yeah, it's going to be great. So, you know, just Joey's Big Reveal, all platforms, you'll find us there.
Danny, my man, anything that you want to plug for the people?
Well, ironically, just recently rebranded from Dimes Production to Dime Media. So you can catch me on Dimes Media on all social media. And you can catch me this Wednesday. And where am I going to be at, Cody, Wednesday?
Hellhound Film Club, live, downtown Nashua.
That's right, at the Spot. Come check me out there and come check Cody out.
And so, as Danny mentioned, not only are we live right here on Mondays in Cody Central, but you can catch us live in person Wednesdays at the Spot for Hellhound Film Club, where we'll be screening movies every Wednesday and recording a podcast following that will air close to the release date of when the film initially hit theaters. And so, for more information on Hellhound Film Club, all you got to do is subscribe to Hellhound Publishing on YouTube. Everything will be right there. Also, you can consider joining us on Patreon, patreon.com/Hellhound Publishing. We've been on Patreon since 2018, believe it or not, and we still have our $1 tier open. So for as little as $1 a month, you'll get Patreon exclusive episodes of Hellhound Film Club that aren't on YouTube. You'll get early access to all the music that comes out through the record label. You'll get ad-free episodes of all of our other podcasts when they're available. And there's a lot of cool stuff that we just mail out and give you merch and stuff like that. So consider joining that. As I mentioned before, www.cody-pope.com is the world. Cody Central, Hellhound Film Club, Hellhound Till We Underground, and
Underground.
Oh, and then I guess I should plug my shows. I got 2 shows lined up soon. February 7th, I'm going to be at the Vine Street fundraiser. We're raising money for the Vine Street Studios and Ash Street apartments that burned down recently. That is at Backstreet Bar and Grill in Hudson, New Hampshire. And you'll be able to catch me at New Hampshire's longest running hip hop residency, Rap Night Manchester, on Sunday, March 29th. That is all for me. Thank you guys so much for joining me tonight.
Thank you so much, man.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
I really hope to have you guys back again, especially like, you know, if you guys have like the next thing that you want to plug, just send me the bat signal. We'll have you on here. I have so many more questions for you guys, but we literally burned through so much time just having fun. So let's figure out the next time to get you guys on. And thank you, everybody. I appreciate you guys. Everybody get home safe. And I'll see you guys either Wednesday in person or I'll see you next Monday right here on Cody Central. Good night, everybody. Preach.
Good night. Good night.
Good night. Thank you.
Cody Central is written and produced by Cody Pope for Hellhound Publishing. If If you'd like to sponsor the program and have your brand, podcast, or service featured, learn more about that today at www.hellhoundpublishing.com/Cody-Central. Additional ways to support the program include purchasing music, joining our Patreon for exclusive content, or simply donating at any of the links available in the QR codes above.
I certainly feel sorry for you.